Hey everybody, it's me, Dave Chadwick, aka Sugar Ray Dodge, SugarRayDodge.com, all that stuff. Let's go. Okay, before the cartoon starts, I want everybody to get it out of their system and go ahead and make your own Al Gore joke. Thank you. Ooh, polar bears. Polar bears. Polar bears. Polar bears, polar bears, polar bears. Polar bears. Ah, look, it's northern Utah in late April. Yeah, that looks like a lot of fun, but you just know that every polar bear cub has peed in that pool there. Frickin' disgusting. What's happening here? Oh, climb on Daddy's back! What's wrong with you? Why was I cursed with such a wretched child? Whee! Oh my gosh, it's so cold! Oh my gosh, I'm freezing to death! Help me! Ah! Okay, I'm done with that. Yeah, but I want to be like a sensitive loner and write poetry and stuff. You disgust me! No dinner for you tonight, coward! I'm glad I'm not your real father. Ah! What the hell? A fish? Usually this hole is filled with ice-cold Coca-Cola. Yes! I didn't die! Take that, natural selection! Oh, how I love my two favorite sons! Hey! Who told the runt he could have fun? I'm glad I killed your mother! Should we be seeing this? This is a little weird. Ah, yes, and now to make you a bed out of this magical instant shape-shifting snow. There we go. Boink, boink. Yeah, really. It's time to sneak off to the girls' camp across the lake. Hang out with my BFFs, my girly friends. Yes, Obi-Wan, we meet again at last. When I left you, I was but a learner. Now I am... Oh, don't spit at me, jeez, that's gross. What's wrong with you? Oh, I see what this is now. This is a missing episode of Lost. See that there? That is the Black Rock, coming to kidnap the polar bears to go to the island and sell to the Dharma Initiative. Yeah, makes perfect sense. Yeah, grumble, mumble, you can't hear us. We're saying things. Grumble, mumble, let's go kill some bears. Grumble, mumble. Oh, that was pathetic. Boromir just puked at that guy's technique. Oh, gee, look at that. These guys are like the bastard pair children of the Flash. Oh, crap, I forgot. This is where the sharks live. Duh. I can't even hit the runt who's getting his butt kicked by a fish. Ah! Ted Nugent is back and he is pissed off! Alright guys, let's go! Alright, roll call. 1, 2... What? Okay, come over here. Let's do this again. 1, 2... Oh no! Where's 3? I knew I should have given you guys names instead of numbers. Runt child whom I don't love at all, where are you? Whoa, he goes down pretty easy. Did you see that? Huh, I guess I better do something. Okay, the wind is at their backs. Why are they walking like that? I can't make it. Go on without me. Ew, oh gross. Why is he doing that? Oh no, he tastes like death. Oh, better have another lick. Oh no, he is dead. Yes, here's this fish you failed to kill. Even in death, you managed to disgust me. How I hate you. Yeah, that's... Rubbing a fish isn't gonna bring him back to life. Well, the fish didn't work. I've done all I can do. Somewhere over the rainbow. Yeah, it is a bit of a weird death dirge, you know, somewhere over the rainbow. But, yeah, I got nothing. Somewhere over the rainbow, we are sad, sad that a bear is dead, sad that a bear is dead. Hey, can we be in the cartoon again? You know, since you're kind of looking at us, we thought maybe you would want us to be in the... Oh, well, never mind, I guess. Yeah, we don't want to be in your stupid cartoon anyway. Have fun burying your dead, you lame bears. Cha. Okay, we get it. You're sad. You're sad that your kid is dead. Let's move on with our lives. Confused grunt? Happy grunt! Ew! He's so happy that his kid isn't dead, he's gonna suck his brains out of his ear. Polar, polar, polar bears. Polar bears, polar bears, polar, polar bears. Polar, polar, polar bears. Polar bears! Whoa, whoa. Calm down, Mr. Projectionist. You're gonna give the audience a seizure. Yeah, we're sorry about the unexpected bumps, folks. We hit a heavy pocket of hot air whenever we fly over Glen Beck. I'll turn off the fasten seatbelt sign and you're free to move about the cabin. Wah, wah, wah. Oh, so that's what our hero is reading. You know, if he hadn't have circled it, I would never have known. He's abbreviating the hell out of his name up there. Yes.
This looks all right.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Someone is actually speaking in this film.
I need a steady job,
Scared
Mr.
me.
Wiley, with a chance to go places.
And Mom says that blogging and internet porn won't pay the bills.
Distributing company. You worked there for 18 months?
Yes, sir.
Why did you leave?
Because I wasn't getting anywhere. After 18 months, I figured I was worth more than they were paying me.
Yeah, people kept saying that I should run for
And
president, hope and change and whatnot.
Important work.
I see.
You're a terrible liar. That's
Mr.
good
Wiley,
information
it was
to
a
have.
rotten company. I don't know why I stayed as long as I did.
And after John Stockton retired, the whole
fired?
franchise just went down the crapper.
Yes, I was. But it wasn't my fault. The company just up and started firing people. Retrenching, they called it. What do you think of that?
I think it's a pretty normal situation.
Companies fire greasy malcontents all the time. It's called natural selection.
Many factors affect that income.
So you're standing up now.
Conditions,
I see.
the development of new industries that replace old ones. For these and many other reasons, businesses often
so
go
do
through
I have the
periods
job?
of
Because if
adjustment
not, I'd
and
rather not
reorganization
listen to this.
When they're forced to let people go.
I didn't do anything. Why me?
You said that in 18 months you hadn't gotten anywhere.
That's right. Other fellows who started later were promoted right over my head.
How much warning do you need?
And
Could
why
you
am I
see
still
the company
talking to
value
you?
the other
Get the
fellow's
hell out of
services
my
above
building.
Yours?
But I thought I was doing fine. What did I do?
Do you expect me to answer that?
No, sir. I guess you wouldn't know.
Actually, I probably do know better than you do.
Come take a look at my crystal ball. It's
I
an
have no
object of
business
unspeakable
taking time
evil,
for
so
this, but-
try not to stare.
I can't help thinking you might really amount to something if you'd set your mind to it. Try to see yourself as your employer saw you.
As a clumsy, incompetent
still.
liability.
Let me give you a picture of a case I really do know. It's about a young man who came to work in our shipping room here. And another young man.
They loved
Now,
each other
we
very
begin
much,
work
so
here
we had to
at
let them
8:30.
go.
That's the time to begin this business of keeping a job. And that's the time Bob Anderson began work every day.
The oil in his hair
We
keeps
could
this place
depend on
running
him to be
smooth
on
and
time.
clean.
And to do his work on time. You might call him an eager beaver.
But everybody else just
Look
calls
at
him
it from the
asshole.
employer's point of view. Wouldn't you like to have Bob working for you?
No.
Dependability is one of the main keys to keeping a job and getting ahead. Now, dependability includes a willingness to work. Some of the work in our shipping room is hard work. That's why we've always had two fellows working there.
Seriously? You can't lift that? No wonder your
Well, two
wife
fellows
left
who were
you.
supposed to be working. The other fellow I want to tell you about is Walter, Bob's brother, Bob's twin brother. But the resemblance is only skin deep.
But don't
Look
misunderstand.
at
They're
Walter
both
from the
incredibly
employer's point of
stupid,
view,
just in
and
different
you see
ways.
how not to keep a job. Look at him from Bob's point of view, and you see how not to get along with your fellow workers. On the other hand,
it's heavy.
Bob would be
Help,
popular
Mom.
wherever he worked. You know he would do his share of the work and help others who needed help. Cooperation is another way to keep a job.
Yeah, but so is having blonde hair and a nice rack. What's your point?
Walter finally decides to go to work, but a job he was supposed to do first thing.
He was supposed to upload his review for American Idol half an hour ago.
Actually, he was supposed to run them off the evening before.
But Ryan Seacrest
But
wouldn't return
he put
his
it off.
calls.
This is how not to be dependable. How not to cooperate with the company and with your fellow workers in your own and other departments. Poor Walter.
Poor,
Who should
stupid
come into
Walter.
the shipping room but me?
Satan!
The boss always seems to find out. Walter's manner gave him away.
So what is it these people do again?
Now, it isn't hard to learn to make good, clean copies on a duplicating machine.
Just ask Calvin and
this wasn't
Hobbes.
the first time I'd have to criticize Walter for making poor copies. And it wasn't the first time he tried to alibi his way out of a situation.
He keeps rambling on about the
fact
reptile
was,
people.
Walter just couldn't take criticism.
John
Yet how could a man
McCain-itis.
expect
Very
to
nasty
improve on a
disease.
job if he won't listen to the very people who can help him? Just before closing time, you'll find Bob getting the shipping room ready for the night.
I know you well to take me home.
And you'll find Walter getting himself ready. So he won't be a second late punching the clock. An employer sees this as a sure sign that a man isn't really interested in his work.
Yeah, I gotta go meet up with Archie, Jughead, and Moose over by the soda fountain.
If you were the
Later.
employer and had to cut down your staff, which fellow would you keep?
And please
That's
keep
not
in mind
right.
that these are two completely
Why
different
didn't you go ahead and
fellows.
fire this?
Completely different.
Walt?
Now, don't be too hasty.
You judgmental
I'm only telling
asshat.
you about Walter's bad points. He did enough work to hang on to his job. As long as times are good, there'll be jobs for fellows who just barely do enough to get by.
That was Bill Clinton's
But to keep
re-election
a job when the
campaign
going
slogan,
gets
wasn't
rough,
it?
you need to insure your job. Make yourself so valuable your employer can't let you go.
And if that doesn't work, it's time for
We've
Walt
talked
to get
about
all Tonya
dependability
Harding
and
on board.
Cooperation. Now, another prime quality is initiative. And for once, I have something good to say for Walter.
I really, really like that
It
tie.
was hard to understand why he was unhappy whenever shipments were left just inside the door. The packages had to be hauled all the way across the room for wrapping, then hauled back again when they went out.
I wouldn't exactly call that a haul.
If you don't like the way things are done, you can spend a lot of time complaining about it. That was Walter's usual way. But this time, he got an idea, and he knew what to do with it.
And as it turned out,
In every
complaining
company,
was by far
there's
the
plenty of
wiser
room for
option.
improvement. And the management usually welcomes suggestions from employees. Walter's idea was a practical one.
Now, I admit, at first, I was
The
apprehensive
company
about
benefits
making
through
love to
time
my own
saved
mother,
and less
but in the
handling
long
of
run, it
practice.
saved the company
The
millions.
fellows in the shipping room benefit through having one of their harder jobs made easier. And Walter improved his standing with his employer by his display of initiative.
You know, I'm thinking
But
the
one good
fellows
part
in the
isn't
shipping
enough.
room need to hit the weight room a little
One day,
bit more
not long
if they are
after,
floored by moving
Walter
a
was
box
taking
10
advantage of the lull
whole
of the
feet.
work, and Bob was bringing the shipping records up to date when...
They were mauled by bobcats and died. The end! Ah, damn it.
What you got there? Shipment for you.
No shit!
Wise guy. Well, finally. The stuff they've been running in here asking about every hour for the last 3 days. Sign here.
That means I don't care,
That's the
pencil
way it
neck.
is in this company. They wait till they've run out of something, and everybody runs around like crazy. No system, and nobody in charge with enough brains to start one.
Vote Ron
Way
Paul!
out of business.
You don't like the company. Why do you work for it? Me, I work for a swell outfit. I'm proud of them.
I get to grow grandmas all day long at the airport. Swell!
What for? A press agent?
What the hell does that mean?
Yes, Walter found out that nobody thinks very much of a man who talks against the company he works for.
Unless your name is Scott McClellan,
And
then
what
you're
did Walter
popular
gain
for at
by
least
making
3
that false
days.
statement about his company? Nothing. Except trouble for himself if it got back to his employer, which it did.
He and the delivery man
I guess
meet up
it's
for
not
drinks
very
every
different
night
from
at
the
the
way I was
airport
talking
bar.
to you about the place where I used to work.
That stupid,
Well, there's a
stupid
saying-
stinkhole.
The shoe fits.
Oh, the shoe fits all right. You knew it would, didn't you?
I knew it. You are Satan.
I could
Or at
see
least
my
one of his
shortcomings all over
minions.
the place. Dependability, initiative, cooperation, and loyalty.
And hair grease.
I could have done a lot better on every count.
Yeah, you could have.
You can do better. Come on.
Let me show you out. Never come back here again.
Well, Bob, I've got a new assistant for you. Bob Addison, this is Ed Blakesley.
Hi, Ed. Glad to meet you.
The excitement in this room is unbearable.
As soon as he trains somebody to take over here, he's moving up to assistant purchasing manager.
Assistant purchasing
Hey, that's
manager,
great.
huh? Really?
Mr. Wiley,
Your parents
they're
must
telling
be
me
so
about
proud.
You and your brother.
My brother?
My brother?
Yeah, your twin brother, Walter.
I had a point to make, so I invented a twin brother for you.
It was incredibly stupid, and
In
it
this
took
book,
forever.
Bob's, I was really describing Bob's poor conduct on the job when he first came to work here.
No! Are you
I
you
was
serious?
working on the job
You
I was
cannot be
before.
serious.
I get it. And then you...
I'm
Well,
dumb.
if you can... Say, Mr. Wiley, did I ever tell you about my twin brother?
Oh, please no. Please no. Okay.
Which is the story of man.
What is the
thoughts,
story of
The
man?
aspirations, the affections of long generations of humanity
Uh-huh.
are woven into the fabric of human speech.
What the hell are you talking about?
That's the way it begins.
Is it?
Story of language all over the world.
Okay, who are you?
Sounds of human speech, like the very air we breathe, or something most of us take just for granted.
Shouldn't your movie have a title? I mean, I kind of took that for granted, but, you know, whatever.
And don't forget to brush your teeth.
You'd hardly think of our everyday speech as being a specimen for scientists to take apart piece by piece.
Like, evolution, or global warming, or other crap people with no lives care about.
Science of linguistics.
Hi, I'm back here
Many
now.
ways to tell this story. We've chosen to tell it through the imagination of the young lady who lives in this house.
Sir, there's no house there.
As you will see, she's head over heels in linguistic problems of her own. And she might call it
The Alphabet Conspiracy, the real story of the JFK assassination. You know, one that isn't directed by a coked-up lying a-hole. Produced by Owen Krupp, a rejected Harry Potter character. Okay, we're panning up to the window. We were almost there! Well, since these opening titles aren't going anywhere for a while, I'll take the opportunity to let you guys know that if my voice sounds different than it did with the Polar Bears and the Bland guys in The Office, it's because this movie is really only like an hour long, so I went back and grabbed a couple of shorts I did like 3 years ago and stuck them on the front of this, just to pad the whole thing out. And now you know. You're welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, the new host of Masterpiece Theater, Shirley Temple.
Why can't you use a preposition to end the sentence with?
Sure you can.
Why shouldn't participles dangle?
You can dangle them if you
Why
want.
does it have to be so many different words? Words!
Who is raising this child? The world's worst grammar Nazis? I bet this is what heaven looks like to William F. Buckley. And hell to Glenn Beck. Oh no. Honey, I shrunk the kid. Again. Please don't beat me this time. No, honey, you run away from the demon letters. Away. This is actually kind of a catchy little tune. Alphabet conspiracy, so much fun as you can see. Dancing with the letter A is how I spend my day. Alphabet conspiracy, hey, where are you guys going? We were having so much fun. Did I do something wrong?
How'd you do? I'm the Mad Hatter.
Why, of course. My name is Judy.
And I'm going to call my dad if you don't go away right now.
We are going to help you. Judy, this is Chadwick.
Oh, wow.
Tis brillig. How Mimsy? How do you do?
Why does he talk that way?
Yeah, that would have been my first question, too.
What are you two doing out of the Alice in Wonderland book?
Oh, you mean this junior high play set?
Enslaved by words. We are going to do away with the alphabet.
Take purple sword and told you to rub out the word.
I bet this guy is really happy that nobody can see his face.
Sometimes there's no rhyme or reason to them at all.
Good. You may join our conspiracy.
This scene is going to make it into the next loose change cut.
Judy will lead the letters into trap.
Huh?
Go on. Go on.
What part of lead the letters into trap was confusing?
I'll take care of the capital letters. You may take care of the little ones.
So it's not so much an alphabet conspiracy as it is a alphabet brutal massacre. Oh, great. This guy.
Who's he?
He's a professor of linguistics.
How do you know that?
Linguistics. Well, Judy, what are you doing?
And how did I get into your dream?
We're going to murder the language.
Wow. And this is a kid's movie.
Which
one. There are at least 5,000 different languages in the world. There are a few of the dictionaries.
You can use them to make your genocide broader and more effective.
What's he do? Speak all kinds of languages?
He does just speak them. He's a scientist of language.
A science of language?
Oh, yes. He studies the insides of language.
He jumps right in there, right into the purple, gooey insides of languages and flops around in the goop.
Well, there's some things to be said in favor of alphabets.
Name one.
The alphabet is the basis of writing, for one.
You moron.
And let's get the man who invented the alphabet.
Yes, I'd like to meet him.
Murder is
I'm afraid that
fun.
would be a bit difficult, because people have been writing for 5,000 or 6,000 years.
Why, that's centuries.
Yes, Judy, it is. And people have been talking for a long
Hey,
time.
hey, Jabberwocky, you want to be in this scene or what?
Represents the time man has been talking. He's been writing only this long.
You want to give us an actual number, Mr. Scientist, or... okay, I guess that's good enough.
Large numbers of people, millions of them, still get along without writing.
If they get along, why should they bother to learn?
Will somebody please take that croquet mallet away from the homicidal psychopath before he goes all Donkey Kong on us all?
But as civilization began to spread over the earth, people realized spoken language alone has its limitations.
Yes, they just realized
so much
it.
they couldn't remember it all. You might say, Judy, that's why writing was invented.
Then that must be why we have whole libraries full of books. Because people want to write down for other people what they thought and what they did.
So it's like blogging, only with paper. I think I get it now.
Long before there was anything like civilization. Scientists don't know exactly how it all got started. But once on the move, speech grew like a great tree.
Of Gondor.
Branches joining its limbs. Branches growing out of other branches.
Uh-huh.
Branches running up into twigs.
Right.
Each a spoken language that was the source of still other languages.
Uh-huh.
And each changing as it went along and developed until 5,000 or more known languages spread through the ages.
We have a word for that now. It's called cluster
Even now, languages are
something.
continually changing. New ones springing from old ones, sometimes several from a single source.
Latin was very important, wasn't it?
You know about
It
Latin?
was. What we call the Romance languages all branched off from the great trunk of Latin.
Okay, so what exactly is Judy's problem?
Sardinian,
Because she was complaining about words,
Spanish
but
and
she
Portuguese,
clearly knows everything that Professor
Dalmatian
Grandpa
and
here
Romanian,
knows.
Catalan and French Provençal, Rito Romance, and if you listen, you'll hear a certain similarity.
Padre, Pere, Papa, Tata, Papa.
Gosh, I wonder what that guy's child support is like.
Something alike.
Well, Judy, would you be interested to know
No?
that at a certain time of their lives, babies all over the world speak the same language?
Oh, just a moment. I know better than that. What about Chinese babies and Indian babies, German babies, French babies, and American babies?
You want to kill all them
Listen to the
too?
language that all those babies speak. Now, here's a typical baby.
I've used my evil powers to trap him inside this book.
All babies in the world have the same, well, baby language to start with. The same babbling, if you like. But this babbling includes the sounds needed to make any language.
Goo goo gaga, everybody.
I didn't think baby talk really meant anything.
It really doesn't.
Baby babbling is very important. When a baby first comes into the world, the speech areas of his brain are like a clean slate, ready to be written upon.
A clean slate
From the
that is
very moment of
completely
birth.
destroyed upon their first encounter with Elmo.
With every sound a baby makes, he is producing, you might almost say practicing, the basic sounds of speech.
Poorly, I
They
might
learn to
add.
talk just by practicing.
Not entirely. Through the first year, the child listens to his parents and copies
Whoa!
as closely as he can what he hears,
That was a
winning
big
their
baby.
approval when he makes the right sounds. Then the sounds begin to take shape. And by the age of 6, the speech pattern is complete.
Ugh, that's a horrible speech pattern.
Hello, Daddy.
Oh, they're trapped inside the book, too. This is
They all
horrible.
have the same sounds, and then they just keep the ones that fit their language. I think I'll make a note of that.
You might also make a note that we have a conspiracy to get on with. Shall we go?
We're late for your suicide
Oh,
bomb
yes, that
fitting.
conspiracy to do away with the alphabet. May I ask a question?
What is it?
Why do you want to get rid of the alphabet?
It's language we're after, really. And the letters of the alphabet are the building blocks of language.
That's a beautiful statement.
Thank you, Judy.
Very well put, but hardly scientific.
Even though I just said that exact same thing not 5 minutes
What I would
ago.
go after would be sounds, because sounds are the basis of any language.
Like farting. Farting is a language, isn't it?
I suppose the next thing you're going to say is there's a science of sound.
Oh,
Well, as a matter of fact,
soundology. What a
there is.
preposterous
For a long
idea.
time, scientists have been curious about how our human sounds are actually made.
Really only the
Study,
stupid
Professor
ones.
Wolfgang von Kempelen invented the world's first talking machine.
The Micro
Make
Machines
a note
guy.
to get from Kempelen.
Grrr.
That was in the 18th century, around 1780.
Fun killer.
Cross him off. We're too late.
Here's a drawing of von Kempelen's machine when the professor completed
Hey,
it.
down in front, Jabberwocky.
I wouldn't even know how to begin to build a talking machine.
What are you doing, Judy?
Good
I'm
question.
trying to imagine how the professor figured it all out.
Is that how it's done? Ah, she's evil too.
Hi.
Before a talking machine could be built, the professor had to do a scientific study of just how the human speech mechanism works.
Lungs,
Lungs, right.
vocal cords,
Those, sure.
mouth,
Yes,
palate,
right.
nasal cavities.
Yes, thank you. That was all very scientific. Yes, that's how Scott Steiner looks like when he's deflated, too.
Air. The chest muscles, acting as a bellows, operate to fill our internal bagpipe, the lungs, with air.
Really?
Next you need
What?
noise. Read from a bagpipe. That will do.
Hooray, science!
Now we build the machine.
While our friend is busy,
He's your
let's
friend?
look at some recent motion pictures of the human vocal cords in action. These films were made by the Gould Foundation Voice Research Laboratory at Northwestern University.
They have a lot of free time up
See,
there.
Human noise
Ah!
is produced by the vocal cords.
Duh, make it
It's in
stop.
the larynx, or Adam's apple. Air from the lungs is released
Ah,
through a space
jeez, what is
between the
this
cords,
rated? This is
causing them
disgusting.
to flap apart and slap together.
Oh.
These vibrations set up sound waves. Now, by slowing down the action with high-speed photography,
Why are
we can
you
see
doing that?
The pitch of sound is varied by tightening or relaxing the pull on the vocal cords.
Okay, I will pay you $1,000 to make this stop right now.
Relaxing them lowers it.
Somewhere a female Wookiee is in heat.
Effective as they are, the vocal
Okay,
cords
I
are
honestly
only the
can't even
source
look
of
at this
noise.
anymore. This is worse than
It's the
Hustler.
rest of the speech mechanism that shapes the sound into meaningful words. Now, what the
We hope
professor
you've
had
enjoyed this episode
understand
of
to
How to
this
Make Your
machine work
Educational Film
was
really,
precisely
really
how tongue,
unpleasant to
teeth,
watch.
Lips and so forth operate.
E, O. Vowels. And now, consonants.
Shouldn't you be building your talking machine or something?
The breath explodes, it buzzes, it hums.
And I totally needed a mirror for all that.
The machine is finished.
It willed itself into existence.
And now, demonstration.
What? If you have any idea what just happened, please send me an email at dave@sugarraydodge.com.
Von Kempelen's machine was quite remarkable for 1780, for it was the world's first successful talking machine.
They must have a really loose
Scientists
definition
today
of
have the
success,
benefit of techniques
talking,
undreamed
and
of in
machine.
Von Kempelen's time. In these X-ray films of the human speech mechanism in action,
Also known
you
as
can see
the mouth.
tongue and lips assuming various positions to form cavities that modify the sound by resonance.
Who will give a needle, a mouse, a cat, and a bird to my father?
This was
The
back
sound
when
of the
sentences
different
didn't
vowels
really need to
depends
make
on the
any
height to which
sense.
the tongue is raised in the mouth. High, mid, or low.
I really hope you're all making
Also
your own
depends
really
on the
filthy
position of
jokes
the
right now,
tongue
because
in
I'm
front
not going there after that whole throat
back of
thing.
the mouth.
Sorry.
Consonants are shaped by tongue, lips, teeth,
Who will give a needle, a mouse, a cat, and a bird to my father?
Yes, we heard you the first time.
Educational, Jabba. We don't have to bother with the alphabet. All we've got to do is get rid of those vowels and consonants, and our job is done. I hate to disappoint you, fellows.
But as a professor of linguistics, it is my job.
Speech mechanism are phonemes. P-H-O-N-E-M-E-S. Phonemes.
Yes, thank you, Grandpa. I know how to spell phonemes.
Don't even make a note of that, Judy. He's just trying to throw us off the track. Come on, Jabba. We've got plans to make.
So, okay, bye. I guess Judy can just go to hell then.
Confusing. I guess I better ask you. What is a phoneme?
What, you don't already know? You know everything else.
No, they're letters of the alphabet. They're units of writing. No alphabet for any language truly represents the sounds of that language.
Yes, they do.
Sit down and I'll show you. Now, let's take this word.
The audience totally doesn't need to see it. To hell with them.
Either.
Now, this word has 5 phonemes. If I say it slowly, you can hear the 5 parts.
Yes, thank you for overcomplicating a 2-syllable word.
Either or either?
Either, or either. As your friend the Hatter's already said, the alphabet can be very confusing.
Because people like me choose to make it confusing.
In the same way. That's why scientists had to develop more accurate symbols.
They just had to.
In phonemes, either is written this way. E.
No, that's a Y. Oh, it totally all makes sense now.
It's written like this. E.
Okay, I'm going to need you to use actual letters, please.
Now, scientists such as Ferdinand de Saussure discovered that out of the thousands of speech sounds a human being can make, each language has picked its own set of phonemes.
Discovered or made up?
Has 45.
And those little phoneme sounds must really be the building blocks of language. I better make a note of that for the Hatter.
Stop increasing his kill list.
I better just stick to the alphabet.
You and everybody else.
We have a proposal.
You leave and never come back.
It's possible to communicate without words, to say nothing of phonemes. Will you give up your linguistic obsession and join our conspiracy?
Well, I don't know. What kind of benefits do you guys have?
Good.
One, two, buckle my shoe. 3, 4, shut the door.
These are the kinds of roles that people who had their careers ended by Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark have to take.
Why, I understood him perfectly.
If we can win over science, the alphabet is as good as dead.
Oh.
Well, Dr. Linguistics, do you concede that we have made a point?
Yes, indeed.
You're 1 for 40. Good job.
Substantiate your point further. I think you'll find this very interesting, Judy.
We're all over here now.
Science.
Okay, so how many movies within a movie is this now?
This is one of the Canary Islands, La Gomera, off the west coast of North Africa.
I have a timeshare there with the ice cream bunny.
In the sparsely populated areas, people found it difficult to communicate with one another across the deep gorges.
Walking had yet to be invented.
Contrived an extraordinary form of telephonic speech, whistling, which can be understood over a distance of 3 differences in pitch.
I'm gonna blow up the Ark, Renee! Okay, they're whistling. We get it.
This whistling language is of great interest to linguistic scientists because it makes use of only one feature of normal speech.
Annoyance.
It does with all the variations of tone quality that Professor von Kempelen was so concerned about. Now, whereas this canary...
What just happened? Is this movie causing rifts in time and space?
Indian Sign Language.
Hi, I have a few suggestions for American sport team names.
Council wasn't time enough to learn one another's spoken language, So they used sign
I'm going to choose to believe that this is where the Indians from Jesse James Meets Frankenstein's Daughter were writing to, because I need closure on that.
Called the Lodgepole River. Before the snow, there'd be no more fighting, and that made all the Indians very happy.
Yeah, he could not possibly have been wronger.
Excuse me for interrupting. I was just wondering how the Indians managed to talk with their hands in the dark.
Well, they couldn't, Judy.
Why the hell would they?
These methods giving man limitless possibilities for expressing his ideas, his concepts of science and technology.
Hey, the Jabberwocky's right behind you.
His feelings.
You're gonna get stabbed.
Love.
Turn around. Okay. Okay, what is going on?
Be taken in by those scientific sophistries. Do animals have alphabets?
Why are you yelling at me?
And animals can, without any words at all, quote, communicate from the moment of birth. And they've gotten along without any words at all, haven't they?
I hate you so much.
Fellows, please oblige. Now look.
Jeez, talk about mood swings.
There's a crow. When man invades the forest, he's the first to shout, "Beat it." And all the other birds, animals,
sometimes some crimes can go slipping through. Oh, hey, come back! I wasn't done.
Words, but insects as well. The most incredible of all is the dance of the honeybee.
Not
when
pictured.
a worker bee finds a flower full of nectar, it flops. This urgent message
This skipping thing is not going to get any better, is it?
The pattern of the dance indicates the direction of the flowers in relation to the sun. The speed of the dance tells the distance from the hive.
Alphabet conspiracy!
They all take notice. They touch the dancer with their discover the scent of the flowers. Then they all fly out to the source of the nectar.
I could totally be murdering right now.
Animals and insects have many ingenious ways of communicating. Sound, smells with motion.
Mauling, killing, eating.
That the animal mind operates almost automatically.
And this scientifically proves that animals have no souls.
And reacts instinctively.
What? This actually has an intermission? And we're back. So in part 2, is Judy going to free the children of Israel from the Mad Hatter's brutal oppression? That's really the only reason why this needs to be 2 parts.
Hello. Hello.
Why, Jabber, that's very good.
Previously on Alphabet Conspiracy.
Oh, it was the parrot. Beware the jubbub, talking bird.
But parrots just imitate what people say.
Like anybody who watches cable news.
Are not able to associate a given sound or word with a specific meaning.
Again, like people who watch cable news.
They sound like people.
Some animals, such as apes, do have a larynx and the rest of our vocal apparatus.
Not how you actually say apparatus.
Chimpanzee is the closest to that of a human being. Will you please?
We've got movie sign.
Research psychologist Dr. Keith Hayes and his wife raised a chimp named Vicky.
You know, because why the hell not?
In training, Vicky had learned to speak only 3 human words by the time she was 3 years old.
And they were all
like
words for
babies,
poop.
She babbled at first. Later, she was rewarded when she made the right sound.
They slightly reduced the voltage of her shock collar.
Vicky's lips to help her pronounce the word mama. At the age of 2.5, she could say papa and cup.
Why is that impressive?
Now she has learned to use all 3 of her words appropriately in solicitation.
She got a job as a Cutco salesman.
Papa? Papa? You say what? She was rewarded when she made the right sound.
Yes, you just said
Mrs.
that.
Hayes would shape Vicky's lips to help her pronounce the word mama.
The movie is repeating itself.
She could say papa and cup. Now she has learned to use all 3 of her words appropriately in solicitation. Now who am I?
You are man flesh. I will eat you someday.
Papa? Can you say what this is?
No, wrong.
By the age of 6, Vicky's spoken vocabulary consisted of 7 words, whereas human children are using hundreds of words by the time they're only 2 years old.
Yeah, that's because we're way better than monkeys.
And other mammals
that's why we run the whole planet.
To the speech mechanism, but it takes more than that.
It takes fresh breath.
Power. Well, for the present, we must conclude that man is the only one of Earth's creatures with true language.
Something everybody already knew for a really long time.
Their cries, calls, their signals form the infinite variety of meaning that we achieve when we arrange words and sounds into sentences.
Are sentences like
Judy,
tweets?
It wouldn't surprise you that some people have argued that what distinguishes man from beast is grammar.
Those people are called idiots.
I suspected it from the moment he started building up this so-called science of linguistics, and all these pretentious words are just a cover-up for grammar. So, Judy, the sooner we get on with our conspiracy, the sooner we get rid of grammar.
You know what? I'm going to throw in with the Mad Hatter at this point.
Subjects and predicates and split infinitives and the conjugation of verbs.
But, Judy, grammar isn't just a bunch of rules.
It most certainly is.
It's the building blocks of language.
No, it's more like the architect's plan for the building.
Somebody needs to revoke his metaphor license.
I've got some plans for that plan.
Then grammar is the
Kaboom!
It sounds important, but rather hard to understand.
Judy, it's simply this.
We're all dead and in
The way
hell. I
words are
probably
arranged
should have
into
mentioned that
sentences
earlier.
Is as important to meaning as the separate words themselves. Judy, did you know that your brain...
Okay, Jabberwocky, you are 10,000% too close.
You mean my head's been full of subjects and predicates? I didn't even know it.
Yes, of course. Did you ever try to make your mind completely blank?
If you're having trouble with that, I suggest watching The
Mind
Happening.
goes on talking to itself and in language. That's what we call thinking.
Oh, good. I'm glad we got
Language
that
puts
pinned down.
Not only words into our mouths, but into our heads, too.
Well, that's another trouble with words.
They really hurt when I
Maybe
jam them
how
into
it
my
feels
head.
right.
Oh, but Judy, before you go...
Tell me
let
exactly
say
where
that
you were
words
gonna go
themselves
before I
aren't to
stopped
blame.
you.
They were developed through the ages to express the vital experiences of people everywhere.
Mainly
In a
WrestleMania.
sense, people live in different worlds. Worlds reflected in their languages.
And poorly
We
painted
could understand
globes.
these many languages. We might hear the people say,
We Eskimo must live with snow.
Man, now I miss the polar bears.
We have a
Such a
dozen
great
special
time,
words
you
to
know,
tell about
before
snow.
the alphabet conspiracy.
Far too important to be dismissed with one word.
To us, living in the Trobriand Islands, our very existence depends on raising our crops. We have more than 100 names for yams.
But no, I won't tell you any of
More
them.
than 6,000 different words for camel, its parts, and equipment.
when language expresses our various ways of life, it is indeed our servant.
Huh?
Some scholars have wondered if language is not at times our master. People use words. Do words use people?
Damn it, stop saying
In most of the
ridiculous
Western
things.
world, our various social classes speak one to the other in traditional ways. Does our language then determine our behavior?
Nope.
Dictating for each person the way in which he acts towards his equals, his inferiors, his superiors.
That's all you. It's called free
Our
will.
holy
Don't try to
language has
pawn it
no
off on
grammatical
words.
way to express past, present, or future. So far as our language is concerned, one might conclude that the world is without time altogether.
If you might conclude that, I would suggest that you lay off the peyote.
Does our language shape our whole philosophy of life? Is it true that some ideas that are clear in one language may be very difficult to say, may be even difficult to think in another language?
Yeah, I run into that
Even
whenever I
so-called
try to
primitive
explain
people
fry
have
sauce to
developed
somebody who isn't
languages
from
that
Utah.
admirably express their cultures, their ways of life. But scientists have discovered that there are no primitive languages on the face of the earth.
Except for whatever
These
Tommy Wiseau's
languages
first
used
language
with
is.
ease by the crudest savages are just as complex as other tongues.
Such as parcel or
It sometimes
buffalo.
requires the lifetime study of our greatest scholars to figure them out. Anthropologists like Franz Boas,
Oh, yeah,
who
everybody's
pioneered
heard
in
of that
American
guy.
Indian languages, sought to discover in each language its own system. Following Boas, Leonard Bloomfield began collecting materials on American Indian languages.
He discovered they
By
have more
this
than
and other
100
work,
words for
he set
casino.
the stage for modern descriptive linguistics. Others, such as Edward Sapir, an expert on many Indian tongues, studied languages as related to cultures and total ways of life.
He keeps all his
All the
many
languages
Indian
now
tongues in
being
pickle
spoken,
jars in
only
his
a few have
garage.
been studied scientifically. And today, linguistic scientists all over the world are concentrating upon small speech communities that are rapidly dying out
Like
to
Detroit.
prevent their languages from being forever lost to the study of man. As we understand each new language, we learn more about the way human beings communicate with one another.
And man, do we have a lot of slurs. This is how I get my mail, too.
It's an invitation. Mad Hatter says we're invited to a mad tea party. He's going to prove that language is madness.
Oh, is he?
And the guest of honor is to be Dr. Linguistics.
BYOPB means bring your own pipe bomb.
My goodness.
Bob and Walt were the same guy. I totally didn't see it coming.
Combination.
Previously on 24. Oh crap, we're gonna die in a room with pots painted on the walls, aren't we? I always knew it would come to this someday.
The mad tea party is about to commence.
Well, I've invited a cowboy from the Southwest, a theatrical publicity man, and...
What the hell?
Bob, I guess.
How do you do, Shorty?
Scare me, man.
Judy, this is Shorty Rogers, famous jazz trumpeter and composer.
He's so famous that I had to introduce him and explain to you who the hell he was.
A very distinguished professor of linguistics.
Is this cap cool, square, or way out?
Well, I'm not sure that I follow you, but...
Me neither.
A very amusing encounter. They won't understand each other at all.
Really? So we'll have to kill them both. It's going to be so much fun. Oh.
A very distinguished Dr. Linguistics. Doctor, this is Shorty Rogers.
I know his real name and not yours. That makes him way better than you.
Man, you're really weathered. What's the bit here?
Well, a hat here's been trying to bug me on this ABC jazz. Crazy made the scene, man. Crazy.
Oh, no, a surprisingly hip grandpa. This has never happened before.
I have to split now.
What?
Go on.
Yeah, that's what I like to do in movies. Show up, talk for like 10 seconds, and then leave.
Maybe too. Me either.
Well, wait till he meets my next guest.
Oh, no.
Dr. L. I'd like you to meet a theatrical publicity man.
He's just like you in the fact that he doesn't deserve a real name.
You already have a story.
Yep, here's my lead. Tongues wag as wags gag, but hot hat cools as Doc clicks on rhetoric tricks.
That's a terrible story. You're fired.
Like a fat bat. Well, I gotta run now, Doc. This bash is a bop.
There's 18 more minutes of this nonsense, isn't there?
Fracks, cracks, bandersnatch to me.
You're right. They do understand each other. Perhaps this next guest will confuse it.
Even though my plan, whatever the hell it is, has utterly failed up to this point.
Yourself?
Well, now, I don't want to sound like I was raised on sour milk.
Crying out
but
loud.
I just can't drink enough of this yellow gargle to get it talking low.
Where's my gun?
Give me buck fever. I get my spurs all tangled, and I'm just plain old hog-tied when it comes to making chin music with a pack of strings.
Yeah, the yellow gargle, yeah, the bird
Simple.
That's what I heard.
Mouthy, he's fresh out of tongue oil. This wingding shortens his stake rope, makes him feel like he's got his leg tied up.
Didn't you read the script, idiot?
My lingo. You'll do to ride the river with. Well, I gotta roll my wheels. So long, Doc.
So long, amigo.
Yeah, every time I think this movie can't get any weirder, it goes on for another 10 seconds.
Well, so much for linguistics. Now, do let us have some tea.
Okay, look, if you're gonna kill everybody, shut up and do it already, alright?
Variety of verbal vocalizing. Surely you would agree that language is a mixed-up mess.
But Dr. Linguistics didn't seem to think
his name is Dr. Baxter, okay? It was in the credits. It's a relatively normal-sounding name. There's no reason to not use it, alright?
Different dialect, if you please. Now, these dialects and occupational vocabularies are what make any language interesting, colorful. They're part of our humor, but they're also the subject of scholarly research.
You jive, turkey.
I'm afraid that you and I are not made of the same leather.
You're made of leather?
Well, thanks for the tea in linguistics. It was very pleasant.
Was it?
Judy?
Please, for the love of God, wake up.
Would you care to join me in a little research project in American dialect geography?
Oh, no. There is no way this ends well.
The way a man talks tells us where he comes from.
Like in Brooklyn. Some people call a bird a blade.
Not only what people say, it's the way they say it that gives us clues to where they were brought up.
Sucker!
That sounds like a mystery.
It is, rather.
Rather?
You could look at it as a kind of detective story.
No, you couldn't.
First, we'll need a suspect.
No, we'll come up with the crime after the smear campaign. An average-looking white guy, run for your lives.
You gonna tell us where you're from? Oh, you won't, eh? Well, we have ways of finding out.
It's called beating you senseless and looking at your ID.
Mary.
Aha!
He's a communist, I knew it.
Alleghenies, they pronounce the words alike. He pronounced them all differently.
Because they're all different words, which means you suck at your job.
All right, now, read this.
Boy. Any child could read that.
Sorry.
Greasy.
Hear that? He said greasy, not greasy.
Not the way people actually speak.
Philadelphia.
Ha! Read this.
Park.
He said park, not park.
Yeah, I heard it. That eliminates coastal New England.
Because the East Coast is the only place this dude could possibly be from.
Hear that? Not wash and water, but wash and water.
Yes, I know. I heard him. I'm right over here. Okay, stop that, please. What the hell did I ever do to you? Bah, you're over here now. I did not see that coming.
Father.
Father?
Father?
I'll put him within a 30-mile radius of Times Square, right?
All that was to determine that he was from New York. No, everyone had a good laugh.
An amusing parlor game, Dr. Linguistic.
I should have killed you when I had the chance.
Well, a dialect geographer using a list of only 30 words can usually place a person within 20 miles of his home locality, so long as he lives in the eastern part of the United States.
So it's totally useless anywhere west of Philadelphia.
Their monumental linguistic atlas in the east in 1929 and had been painstakingly working their way to the west.
Emphasis on the word pain.
The University of Michigan has conducted a good part of this research. He and his dialect experts are traveling around the country for the past 25 years, asking people what words they use for all sorts of things.
I've wasted my life, haven't I?
Dialect differences in words and how they're pronounced. Perhaps Dr. Kurath will show us how the atlas is put together.
We're holding his family at gunpoint to make sure that he does.
It contains hundreds of maps showing speech differences and their geographical boundaries, which we call isoglosses. May I show you a few examples?
I don't know, only if they're half as exciting as phonemes.
Sets off the area in which griddle cakes are called fritters.
No, keep going. I totally caught every word of that.
Well, they call them hot cakes. Over here, they're called flannel cakes. To the south of it, batter cakes.
Again, anybody who lives west of Philadelphia can just go to hell.
The basis of isoglosses like these that we establish the dialect boundary.
Thank you, Dr. Kurath.
We'll now release one member of your family. Which one of them do you love most?
As the dialects flowed westward, the way our population did, the strands unraveled and began to overlap. Here's how they traveled. Western New England accent, Southern mountain accents, plantation speech, Texas accents, but down east talk in the state of Maine has stayed put.
I wonder if the rains in Maine stay mainly in the plains. Get it? Because it's not Spain, it's Maine. Yeah. The alphabet conspiracy is straining my will to live.
There's also marked off areas where big cities have influenced the speechways.
A ding-ding, everyone!
This atlas is a most impressive achievement in one branch of the science of linguistics. Dr. L.
I hold your existence in utter contempt. Have I made that clear? Because I just wanted to make that clear.
But don't try to convince me that it's a science.
Science is test tubes, telescopes, microscopes, and chromium-plated machines.
And hats, and yellow jackets, and green plaid pants. That's what science is.
Yes, that's what scientists call their machines. Before you can build a piece of hardware, you have to know exactly what you want it to do.
Like that guy who made that talking machine. He totally knew what he wanted it to do. What was that exactly? That thing's totally been upstaged by the speak and spell.
Kind of imagination that led to Bell's telephone.
Bell is so overrated. He couldn't even save President Garfield. Induction balance my ass.
To Marconi's wireless.
Wireless what? The radio? Are you talking about the radio? You could have just said that.
No, Judy. When I was your age, films were silent.
How do movies talk?
Well, running along the side of our film is the soundtrack.
I wonder whatever it looks like.
Because sound is what you look at.
Soundtrack to move in a bit.
Is that what makes the picture talk?
Oh, it's so much fun to bend the nature of reality to your will.
Of technology indeed. You surely wouldn't make light of the magic of physics, converting sound into electrical impulses.
The Pillar of Fire of the Ten Commandments was way better than this.
Of miraculous. You'll see.
So, okay, bye.
Example.
Oh, you're back.
Sound spectrograph turns speech into pictures. First, the scientist speaks into the machine.
Never kill a snake with your bare hands.
Let it swallow you whole, and you can suffocate on the inside. Then it will digest your corpse, leaving no evidence that you ever existed. Your life was utterly meaningless.
Comes out looking like this.
Is it a new kind of alphabet?
No.
It's more like a fuzzy kind of shorthand.
Oh my gosh, shut up. No, it doesn't.
Pitch and loudness in each instant of sound. That gave the scientist an idea. Why not just create speech artificially?
Yes, why not? I was just about to say that.
With a brush. And when they feed this hand-painted speech into the playback machine, here's how it
Playback machine.
Never kill a snake with your bare hands.
Would you like to play a game?
Yes, the sound spectrograph allows linguistic scientists to make very rapid studies of speech sounds. And among other things, some deaf people have been taught to see speech. For example, they learn to recognize this pattern as 5.
Because the number 5 was just too confusing.
Precisely. They see pictures of speech. Oh, we've got machines that talk to man.
Demons.
And even machines that can listen. Audrey.
Audrey.
That's a machine that listens to spoken numbers like a telephone operator and obeys orders.
Audrey.
4.
Audrey.
Yes, Audrey.
No, it's Audrey. Haven't you ever seen 24?
Spoken into a telephone.
And how about the voice typewriter?
Yes, how about it? Because I was just saying that a typewriter that types actual words just wasn't good enough. We need to be able to type frickin' sound.
You read it.
It's like a secretary who never makes a mistake.
No, they're easily confused by different voices and different accents.
Just like real secretaries.
Pretty crude.
What about machines that talk to each other?
Oh no, the Mad Hatter's become omnipotent.
Electronic computing machines can transmit data to each other over ordinary telephone circuits. Those machines.
Hi, I'm done playing with the PA system. I'll actually be in the scene now.
Out of it. Bandersnatch.
I never dreamed machines could be so smart. I'd have a tea party conversation with a machine.
Well, I'm afraid you find the conversation rather dull.
Oh, like you're one to judge.
Machines have no minds of their own.
I thought they had electronic brains.
It's the brain of man that tells them what to do.
I give up.
Oh, you're still here?
Scientific attitude. Magic is just matter of fact to you. Every miracle has to have its qualifications, reservations, footnotes. Goodbye.
Back to hell for me.
I hope the soundtrack didn't go away mad.
Soundtrack, don't go away mad. Soundtrack, just go away.
Translator. You see, Judy, for a long time now, scientists have been working toward the realization of machines that will translate one language into another. Here's a machine that's helping them. It's called a Johnny-ac.
What?
Translation will need a dictionary and a grammar book, a plan of the language.
I am now telling the Johnny-ac exactly what it could do with a lifetime supply of chocolate. All work and no play makes Chadwick a dull
To
boy.
be done, though. One of the linguistic scientists working on the problem is Professor Kenneth Harper. His students from the University of California at Los Angeles...
Or as we say in America, Los Angeles.
Machine that could translate languages so that everybody could understand everybody else.
Yes, Judy, it would. Unfortunately, translating words from one language to another is not the same as understanding that language.
What I'm saying is that the Chadwick is only slightly less reliable than Siri or Google Translate.
Communicate to us the thinking, the overtones that convey true meaning in any language. A linguistic scientist, by finding new ways of teaching other languages and making them easier to learn...
Like phonemes, or whatever the hell that border thing was called.
Judy,
Previously on Game of Thrones.
The greatest barriers to a meeting of minds among men. One expression of the desire for greater understanding is the United Nations.
If you don't understand something, they'll slap you with sanctions.
As Tertullian of Carthage in 200 A.D. wrote...
Where's my frickin' Chadwick? Back to the Future Part 2 said we'd all have one by next year.
There is one soul and many tongues, one spirit and many sounds. Every country has its own speech, but the subjects of speech are common to all.
Like the subject of how people from the country that you're not from totally suck.
Day-to-day talk, the chatter of small talk, the exchange of pleasantries, news.
Rocks are hilarious.
Gossip.
Wait, are you implying that a flock of cackling old geese actually gossip?
And with strangers who speak different languages, but
There's
find
Popeye
ways
and
of
olive oil.
each other.
This thing could totally fall over and crush us at any time.
Language and speech, the basis for communication.
Hey, Sally, here's this toxic glass of root beer you ordered.
For broadening horizons of the mind, for developing new ideas, for exchanging knowledge,
for developing awesome new Kool-Aid flavors like these guys are. Oh, yeah.
Gift of speech, a universal quality that links each man to the world of men.
Offer not valid in California or Texas.
Pattern of speech may one day be the instrument that will bring compatibility and understanding to human beings everywhere.
Did you buy any of that? Because I was totally winging it. What's going on? Oh, yes, he's finally going to do it. I've been waiting the whole movie for this. I wonder what his intentions are. Match. Blasting powder. Man, what is this guy up to?
Soon I shall be immortalized as the man who freed people from worms.
And I'm taking all of you with me.
Already immortal. Huh? Even if your alphabet conspiracy succeeds and you destroy the books, you, Mad Hatter, and you too, Jabberwock, will always live on in the minds of men.
Even though me and Judy totally won't, but I'm still just going to stand here and not do anything to prevent you from blowing us the hell up.
I'm very alive to myself, and so are you, Jabber.
Don't mind me, I'm just the movie's climax.
To feel it. Immortality. Come on, Jabber. I believe Alice is expecting us.
She has 2 bottles of Coke with our names on them, and she's going to share them with us. Isn't that precious? So as 2 of our main characters leave the movie, I'm going to go ahead and assume that all the plot points have been resolved, there is no more danger, and everybody's going to live happily ever... Oh, right, that! What's the best way to deal with this? Run away, or just stay right... Oh, I'll stay right here and get blown up. Yep, totally the right choice. I gotta lay off the Dimetap.
Words? Words.
Hello there, Judy.
Oh, you. Hey, thanks for letting me get blown up, you a-hole. Gosh.
You see, there's so much I don't understand, and I'd like to understand.
Perhaps I can help.
What more could you 2 possibly talk about that you didn't already cover in the extensive lesson that ended less than 25 seconds ago?
Just as men of science explore the atom, the gene, the universe, so also do they study the living breath of human speech.
No, wrong. The alphabet conspiracy was a total success. You stood there and let the Mad Hatter win. He got exactly what he wanted.
The very spirit of man's deepest nature.
Oh, yes, finally. All right, I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting the hell out of here. I really hope that you all have enjoyed this 100% free riff from SRD's Movie Night. If you haven't already, go check out SRD's Movie Night #1, Jesse James Meets Frankenstein's Daughter. That one is free, too. I'm Dave Chadwick, a.k.a. Sugar Ray Dodge, and I'll see you again soon at sugarraydodge.com.
The Bell System is grateful to the many distinguished scientists who helped to prepare this story of language. Our thanks to the special advisors who supplied and checked the scientific material for this program. Our thanks also to the advisory board, which reviews the scientific aspects of these programs. Its members represent the broad range of learned science, including biology and genetics, medicine, bacteriology and botany, chemistry, geophysics, physics, anthropology, electronics and acoustics, mathematics, engineering. To all these men and to many institutions, the Bell System is indebted for the support they have given this venture in education through entertainment.